Hello, Ride On people. You join me on a beautiful March afternoon. It's blue skies, sunshine, 80 degrees. Life is good in Georgia. So a quick vlog today. Just give you ideas on the new bikes really. There's a lot of new bikes out for 2024. I'm not going to go through them in infinite detail, but just give you my thoughts on a few that spring to mind, and give me your views in the comments. Alright, let's start with Aprilia. Don't think there's much new for this year. Recently went out with my friend Doug's Torino 660. What a great little bike that is, I have to say. I really do like it, and if you get a chance to ride the little twin, it weighs nothing and is a ton of fun. Alright, next up BMW. I guess the big news, everybody's heard of it, is the big update to the R1300 GS. Biggest selling big bike in the world forever, and they couldn't really afford to mess it up. They haven't messed it up too much. Couple of things people are moaning about, but they're real nitpicks really. The brake light is moved to be in the turn signals. The switchgear should be illuminated, but it isn't. And phone charger in the front of the tank should be wireless. And really, after that, you're pretty much scratching your head as to what's not perfect about that bike. It's now one of the most powerful bikes in the class at the lowest revs. It makes the most torque at the lowest revs. And if the spec sheets are, to be believed, it's unbelievably the lightest bike in the class. I think it's some poetic license there because, we're talking box standard bikes without a lot of the electronics and heavy stuff that comes on the bikes that are actually sold. But either way, the bike feels pretty light. I've sat on a fully loaded one, and it probably feels as light, if not lighter, than my Multistrada V4S. On the plus side, it's now gained blind spot monitoring, active cruise control, and heated grips as standard. You can get heated seats as an option, and you can get the all-important automatic what they call it, automatic change height, ACH, something like that, automatic suspension adjustment anyway. It's electronic suspension, but you can get the optional extra which will raise the front and rear preload when riding along and lower it to the minimum when you come to a stop, which is very nice if you happen to be short of stature, or even if you're tall actually, if the road's off camber and there's a pothole. Anyway, the long and short is the BMW is premium and expensive. I think it's even more expensive than the Ducati now. Blimey, might have to take the cheap Ducati option. But you do get a kind of awful lot of bike for the money. For a lot of people, it'll be all the bike they ever need for the rest of their life. And, I think it's fair enough. I'd like longer service intervals in it, maybe 10k, but that's nitpicking as well. Bottom line is, best all-rounder ever made, just got better, and they will sell as many as they can make, I am sure. What else is new for BMW? Of course, the S1000R is available now as a M package, the M1000R, XR competition. So that's your adventure bike, kind of on stilts, but with road running gear, almost supermoto style really, and packed with carbon fibre goodies, including BST carbon wheels, although rumour has it is BMW are going to stop offering the carbon wheels and only offer forged moving forwards for their M models. Not quite sure the reason why there. I could pontificate and speculate, but I'm not going to. I'm sure it will come out in the press sooner what their thoughts are on that. So that bike is over 200 horsepower, and it was probably going to be literally the fastest thing cross country that you can ride. I actually had a deposit down for one last year before I suffered a speeding ticket, and thought better of it in terms of my license. But I actually rode the M1000R, not the XR, the R, competition of friends, and I found it a little bit vibey, to be honest with you. It really sent my hand numb, sent it to sleep, and I worry that the XR is going to be the same as the initial reports are. It can be a little bit vibey for some people at certain revs. So that's the BMW side of things for this year, I think. Key things anyway, key new bikes. Ducati wise, they have a new version of the Desert X, the Rally, I believe it's called. It looks even sexier than the limited edition or kind of R22 Audi electric rally car livery one. It's super tall. I think it's something like 900mm seat height and stuff, but it's actually a very credible bike off-road and rides apparently extremely well on-road. I really must get a demo ride of a Desert X for the channel. So that's new. The other bike which has created a big stir, a lot of interest, and I think everybody loves the idea of owning one, even if the reality of actually owning one is a lot different, is Ducati now have the most powerful single-cylinder bike in the world in the 698 Super Mono, and their Supermoto street bike is, well, it weighs nothing, and it makes amazing power for single. It looks fantastic, especially in the RVE spec. It's pretty techy. It's driven with nice components. It's got electronics, particularly the incredible slide control and wheelie control on that thing is apparently next level. And I would love a go of one of those bikes. I think it would be very good at taming shenanigans, the electronics, and I think you could have the time of your life on it. So that Ducati is pretty cool, I have to say. Next up, Harley Davidson. I think they've made a massive leap forward in terms of the styling and spec of the new Street Glide and new Road Glide particularly, and even more so with the CVO models, which look amazing but cost a pretty penny at around 42,000. And if you want it in a fancy Dan special red paint, you're knocking on 50 grand, and that's before your taxes. So you certainly pay for it, but that bike looks great now. It's got the biggest TFT in the game. It's got lots of electronics now, including a track mode, laughably, for the CVO. I know there's a Bagger Racing series, but seriously guys, the Bagger Racing series is totally different, with things like carbon fibre bags and different size wheels, totally different suspension, blah 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 blah. Anyway, as the road bike goes, I always did gel with the looks of the Road Glide particularly. I didn't much care for the sharp nose fairing, but I think they've massively improved the aesthetics of that whilst staying true to form. So good on you, Harley. I hope you sell a few. You've been out in the wilderness the last couple of years with nothing particularly appealing or nice. The price point is a bit of a killer for most, but at least you're getting up there power-wise with Indian. I think the 117 is standard on most of the range now, and the CVO bikes, of course, bigger and blingier and cost a lot more money, but you pay your money. It takes your choice. Not seeing too much exciting from Kawasaki or Honda, to be honest with you. I think the Transalp has been a great parallel twin for them. and deserves to sell extremely well. It's a good price point, suits a lot of people, so good job on that. And they also made it look pretty similar to the original. I have to say that the Haptik Twin, which has had a makeover, and now the road version features a 19-inch front wheel, a really smart decision. Should have done that earlier. And really, that with a 19-inch front wheel mated to a DCT and really nice HRC livery, it's probably the best looking big adventure bike at the moment, I would say. You know, good job. Honda, of course, you get your car play with Honda, and you get your Honda reliability is generally very good. And the only Achilles heel is it's looking a bit weak now power-wise. You know, it just 100 horsepower or so just isn't really cutting it when, you know, you can get a Tiger 900 with every electronic you can think of for making more power and weighing significantly less. So speaking of which, moving to the Triumphs, have to say that the Tiger refresh on the 900 is great. They've really improved the areas that were weak. They've kept the price point pretty similar, and just by subtle tweaks and some really nice new livery, the bike just looks so much more interesting and appealing to my eyes, at least, particularly the GT Road versions compared with the off-roady variant. So I like what they've done there. There's also a refresh to the Scrambler 1200, but you know, no great shakes, and final edition Thruxton as well, which is nice if you like cafe racers and you want to grab one before they're all gone. Other than that, not massive changes for Triumph this year. They've been doing they've been doing pretty well on the whole. There is, of course, the new 660 Sport Tourer, the Daytona, which will upset some people who think that designation should be kept to the 765. I was initially in that camp. Now I feel a bit different about it, and I don't know, reviews that have been mixed. Some people have said, oh, it's really great, it's really lively, and you know, it's a good match for the Yamaha in the group, and yada yada yada. And other people said, oh, this thing steers terribly. I thought it had a front tyre, and you know, brakes are a bit spongy, and the whole thing's a bit budget and wishy-washy. So I don't know. I generally like my Triumphs. Never had a problem with any of my Triumphs. Enjoyed riding every Triumph I've ridden, but have a ride on one and make your own mind up. Suzuki are having a little renaissance. I really like what they've done with the V-Strom 800. I really like the funky kind of grey and yellow scheme. It's just that little bit different. Is it best in class? Well, you know, depends what you want, really. You know, it's hard to beat the Tiger on all fronts, really. But you know, it's right up there. It's well made. It's a keen price point. Even though it's not that cheap within amongst its peers, but it's an affordable bike if you got your heart set on one. And seems to do quite well in tests. Not going to be as off-roady as a Yamaha T7, but as a road bike, yeah, not bad, Suzuki. It's good to see you back. So, really moving on, I guess the Yamaha. Yeah, I can't think what Yamaha are new for this year. You have to put something in the comments for me. Oh, Honda, going back to Honda, CBR 600. You know, they always had the best middleweight race rep, and they've been out of touch recently, but now they're back in the game. So I think it's a roundout for me. Let me know in the comments if there's any bikes that I missed, and also what your thoughts are on the bikes that I mentioned. and whether they concur with my own thoughts. Alright guys, I hope you're as much sunshine and blue skies as I am, and less traffic jams. And I will speak to you very soon. Sayonara.
Hey you, if you want to become one of the Ride On people, don't forget to subscribe. Ride often, ride carefully, ride on.